according to the U.S. Coast Guard. The Coast Guard said in a statement that around 11:30 a.m., the boat began taking on water at its mooring. The boat eventually sank 26 feet into the water. The agency confirmed the vessel was not actively polluting, and the boat can hold a maximum of 40,000 gallons of oil and fuel. Crews deployed 100 feet of hard boom with absorption material to prevent any leaking. The owner of the boat is U.S. Venture, and they contracted a marine salvage company to remove the sunken vessel. An online toy drive fundraiser started by Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin topped $3 million in donations in the hours after the NFL star collapsed on the field during a game Monday night. The 24-year-old is currently sedated and listed in critical condition after suffering a cardiac arrest following a tackle during the first quarter of a game against the Cincinnati Bengals. CPR was administered on the field before he was driven out of the stadium in an ambulance to a Cincinnati hospital. The NFL and the NFL Players Association agreed to postpone the game. This has been your 1017 The Truth News Update. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is up next on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a scheme, system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of
But answer my question though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come to your house.
Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man, good at change. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. Now, I'm asking the mayor, and the county council president, and the county council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio in Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Happy New Year. It's 2023. All right, we got that out the way. So we're good. All right. Rule number one is 2023. No honks. No dings. Ding. That's over in 2023. That's my resolution. No more. Done. Oh, by the way, somebody will be back. So 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me do all this stuff that I usually do ahead of time, but I was too slow to get it, done. All right, so here's the deal. I've been thinking about 2023. I was talking about it towards the end of last year. And I thought I'd just hop into it and keep it going because, well, it's the new year. And 3 things this year. 3 things for 2023. Tell you what I'm looking for, right? Made some observations. But I thought instead of telling you about you, right? Thought I'd tell you about me. some things that I'm doing. I made some observations because we were off, unfortunately, right? We were off since last Friday, and I had some time to sit and pontificate. By the way, my back is killing me. It's been killing me all weekend. I went, oh my goodness, I was down for the count. And it's like, you know how your back hurts so bad that breathing makes your back bad? It's weird. Anyway, all right. Number one, some things that I looked at about me. One, I need to recognize that every positive I have in my life, there's a negative that goes along with it, and I need to avoid it. Like there are some things in my life that I look at, that I do, that are phenomenal. I get it done. But then there's also some other things that like don't get completed. And so I started looking at that. Number one, for instance, full of ideas. I always have ideas. People come to me, hey, I'm trying to do such and such and such and such. Do you have an idea? Now, I'm not the guy to follow up on it. But it's a great idea, right? Have a mind like a steel trap, can remember details from years ago, right? Short term, not going to happen. And so what I learned is that there's a negative with every positive thing that I do. And so I use that as an example because I literally remember things from my childhood, TV show scripts, right? Dialogue on an obscure show I was watching, all that. Telephone numbers from elementary, from elementary schools and all kind of weird stuff. Like I still remember all my telephone numbers from the time I was born till today. Every place I lived, every phone number, right? Mine like a steel trap. The problem with that is I literally forget what I went into the next room for. I forget where I put my car keys, so I have to have a place where I put them every day. But if I forget to put them there every day, then I can't find them. I forget my wallet, my glasses, my keys. Where did I put my jacket, umbrella? And here's the one that I readily admit. Have you ever left anything on the top of your car and driven away? I've done that twice. Like, no, not twice in a day, but I've done that twice in my life. I've done it more than that. I just don't want to think about it. There's one of them old boom boxes with the two big speakers in it that sit about this. Yeah. I drove off with it on top. And I remember seeing it like roll down the street behind me, broken into little pieces. And so for me, those are the things, right, that I talked about that are negative, that go along with the positive, but I also need to avoid it. Number two, I am committed to doing a major project once a month. Now, for me, that means I need to write a course, write a book, do an article every month and publish it for you to see. And if you want to see how I'm doing that, how I'm getting along, follow me on Twitter at Dr. Ken's Truth. And I'll be putting stuff on there and posting as we go through the year of all the stuff that I'm doing. But number three, I recognize my success in my life, right? I recognize my success. I recognize that there are some things that have holding me back, but I also recognize, like I said in number one, the things that I actually do that make me successful are also some of the things that I do that have made me fail in the past. The problem is, had I known what I know today in the past, it would have led to greater success. And then I realized overcoming it now will lead to greater success. And so I had to ask myself, number four, what do I want in 2023? What do I want to take the time to write a book, write a course, do an article, do all sorts of things that I can do to share my information, my knowledge, my experience to other people. And there's only a few things that I really can do. But in doing that, I had to remind myself the one thing that I want more of in 2023 is pretty simple. All I want out of 2023 is greater success.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
On Thursday night, the Milwaukee Panthers travel to Ohio to take on conference opponent, the Cleveland State Vikings.
Jameson high the left, 6 on the shot clock. Now, ceiling scraper, 3, ring it out.